Hello everyone, and welcome to issue 34 of our newsletter. As our weekly video to keep you up to date with upcoming streams and events on the channel. Before we begin, I'd just like to thank you all for your support and for helping us to grow. Alright folks, here we are, another week. Apologies for this being a little bit late, but been having a few computer issues. I've spent all last night trying to figure them out and drive myself absolutely potty, but hopefully we're cracking on. Nothing too major's happened, but that's just the joys of technology, eh? Alright, there's a couple of things happening. As you're aware, we do a lot of collaborative streams with Brotherhood of the Dice. You know, I'm on the Wednesday group, so Wednesday is streaming their channel, taking part in games, and they've been running the Alien RPG game. The owner of Brotherhood of the Dice, Phil, he's an amazing guy. He does a lot of work for other channels and really puts himself out. So I've been, as you know, streaming to his channel for the Alien game because he was kind enough to run it on mine, so it was just a way to sort of pay him back. But what I'm going to do in future now is any RPG or gaming content and anything relevant will be streamed to Brotherhood of the Dice's Twitch as well as YouTube. Basically, like I said, he spends a lot of time giving his effort to other people and just want to try and help him out, keep the channel alive. Hopefully, don't scare his members away by being on it that often, but it's just going to be if there's anything relevant. I just think it's a good way when you've got people who are working with you and helping you out, you sort of do the same. So obviously looking forward to expand that partnership. So if you can and you're on Twitch, subscribe to Brotherhood of the Dice and just keep an eye out. Unfortunately, unlike YouTube and Facebook, when you schedule a stream ahead of time, it doesn't show up, so you don't really get the same notifications or chance to keep an eye on what's happening. It's very generic. It's one thing I'm not too fussed about the platform, but it's primarily a gaming platform. It's got a great watcher base. Yep, we'll crack on with that and look forward to having you on board. Right, I suppose we'll get into the upcoming streams. Like I said, I'm running behind with this one, so I want to get stuck in. Saturday 15th of June, I will be talking to Paul Humland and James Moran from Northern Nights of Darkness. As I said, this is going to be one of the joint streams, so this will be going on Brotherhood of the Dice's Twitch as well as ours. If you remember Paul from last time, he's a TTRPG writer, and his latest scenario, Art of Hoog, is out and available to purchase, and he's going to talk to us about his next project. Jonas is another member of the Northern Nights and Darkness group, so it'd be good to welcome him on board, get his background of where he's come from, how he's got involved in this, and just basically, as always, talk about horror and what the inspirations are and the love for the genre, and give you an insight if you're not familiar with TTRPGs and what they're about and how the mindset is a bit different for a creator as opposed to a storyteller, or what are the similarities. We can go and do all that. But looking forward to having Paul back and meeting some more new folks and getting to talk about the creative process. Sunday 16th of June, I'm going to be on and talk about The Crow Wicked Prayer. Right, so if you saw my The Crow Salvation dream, I was pleasantly surprised that turned out to be a good movie. Like, I was expected to be absolutely awful and unwatchable, but my expectations were subverted in a nice way. So here's hoping we're going to have the same thing. I would hate for it to be like The Exorcist, where, you know, you got a classic movie, terrible sequel, decent third one, and an absolutely god-awful fourth in the franchise. Obviously you can check out my reviews in those as well, but I hope it's not that similar pattern, and at least while not being massive budget or well known, this could be a little rough diamond that we could enjoy, but we'll see anyway. We'll talk about it on Sunday. Tuesday 18th of June, I'm on with Chris as we cover Final Destination 2. So this is our flip between Sharknado and Final Destination series. We're covering like two of the cheesiest franchises out there. Final Destination definitely winning. It's bit more fun than Sharknado, and this is the epic installment into the franchise. This is the one with the truck scene, and anyone who even has a remote interest in horror knows what I'm talking about with the logging truck. It's just been memed to death. This movie alone has produced like 90% of movie memes just for that one scene, so has to be something to it. So it'll be interesting to come back now and re-looking at it and just seeing, is it worth the nostalgia? Was it just one classic scene, or has the franchise understood what it is and got a good formula going? Friday 21st of June then, I'm on with Phil Mark and some of the folks from Brotherhood of the Dice and Infinite Monkey Tales as we talk about Alien Resurrection. So we're trying to get these wrapped up, all the Alien movies, before Romulus comes out, because we want to cover that in August. We don't have enough time on the Tuesdays because we've still a couple of sessions left of Destroyer of Worlds, and yes, there'll be a bit of a break between that and Heart of Darkness when we started, but I think it's going to be tight to try and get 3 movies in before August. So this is sort of the other plan. We'll do it on a Friday now and again before Two-Headed Serpent starts back. If you've seen our coverage of the Alien movie so far, it's been great to have guys on board and chat away and just riff on the good parts and the bad parts and where it could have went right and where it went wrong and all that good stuff. So always good to have a few folks on talking about a franchise we love and maybe not necessarily the movies, because I think we all agree, unless something changes, that this movie is universally hated. It was just there. But yeah, we'll go into it. And as always, it's okay not liking something, but you need to explain why. So as well, we'll explain the bits that we don't like and why. And if you have opinions on it, come join us in live chat. We're going to have the discussion. Monday, 24th of June, I'm on with Steve as we continue our look at the Hammer Horror franchise with The Man Who Could Cheat Death. So this is one I'm not too familiar with. I've probably seen it, but I just can't remember. It's not one that's stuck in the brain. It's a Christopher Lee movie anyway, but he's not the main antagonist. It's basically about a doctor who figures out that he can extend his life by stealing organs from living victims. So we've got a bit of mad sense happening. So it was fun. It's great with Steve as well. We sort of look at these movies of bygone era, and we're actually seeing the evolution of cinema. We're seeing it going from like stage performances to actual film. And as we've gone along, it's actually been fascinating to see the journey and the transition and how things have grown, and also why are these movies still watchable after so much time? What are the elements that make it so? You know, it's good to sort of talk about that, and it's good to chat about that and see where it's going, and also where they could have maybe benefited from modern technology, or would we end up with what we've got today, relents too much on it and not enough in storytelling. But always good with Steve. He has a great insight. He picks up things I wouldn't even think of looking for in terms of mistakes and relationships between actors and the connections and stuff in the background that I don't really look at. I focus primarily, as you know, on storytelling, character development, atmosphere, effects. That's a sort of my area where I like to look at when I'm watching a movie. Steve brings something else to the table, which all my co-hosts do. They have a different perspective, and that's what makes it a balanced conversation. That's why I enjoy having folks on a regular basis, because we have an extra dimension to the show. Tuesday, 25th of June, I'm on my Brotherhood of Dice and Infinite Monkey Tales as we play session 14 of the Dracona Scream trilogy, and we're on to the final act of Destroyer of Worlds. Our party was nearly wiped out. It was nearly the end last session. Like, we're nearly all finished. If it wasn't for a double check of the rules and a dice roll, we'd have been gone. End of story. It would have been glorious. It would have just fitted so well for our group to go out in that fashion, but we didn't, and we're cracking on, and we're now into Fort Nebraska, and we're about to descend into the depths and find out what's going on. A lot of crazy stuff happening right now. What I love about this franchise is the role-playing game in particular has brought out more. It's not just around the xenomorphs, the actual universe of Alien, the socioeconomics, the power plays, the wars, everything. It's a fully fledged universe. It's just a shame the movies just can't get past one character. As much as I love Ellen Ripley as a character, the movies actually that are a disservice by not being able to move past her. But yeah, there's so much to dive into here. At least with the role-playing game, we can do that, and you can quite easily play this without encountering a xenomorph. There's so much going on, and you can do missions, maybe get the odd hint now and again, but it's just a fun universe. We really enjoyed it anyway. Great group of folks. We're having a laugh. We're getting things done, and good times have we all. And finally, Thursday, 27th of June, I'm on with Dale as we carry on our look at What We Do in the Shadows TV show with Manhattan Nightclub, World of Feud, and Barons and Night Out. As always, it's great having Dale on. We're having a laugh for this series. What we're going to do this time is have a comparison between What We Do in the Shadows and One of the Paranormal. So yes, we know there's similarities. We know it's a similar style, the mockumentary style of TV show. We know it's linked and we've seen crossover characters, but I think we'll be in a better position now after watching these three is to see where the tones change and the direction where each one goes. So each one has their own flavour. We've seen that, even though it's basically the same creative team. But it'll be interesting now to see that, okay, when you've got a particular vision, how do you make it that slightly different so they're just not replication of the same TV show? And yeah, that's what we're going to look into. And always, Dale's an absolute delight to be on. As you've probably seen from some of my posts, Dale has copped a lot of flack lately for absolutely no reason. As you know, she's currently working on a biography for Gorilla Metropolitana, a film director. I wasn't a massive fan of Darius, but at the same time, no problem with the guy. I mean, he does what he does, that's it. He plays his character and he creates what he creates. Who am I to like freak out about anything? It's just funny the way it turned out, because Dale felt obligated because of my bad review to sort of champion this guy. Now she's doing a biography for him, so bloody hell, everything worked out and everyone's happy except for some random weirdos on horror groups who decided she needs cancelled and banned for an interview she did on Horror Realm, which if you watch it, and I shared it on the channel, so check out the link there, bloody hell, they've said nothing bad. All there are two people who are a fan of a creator involved in the project of discussing his work and his life, and they're just fans, and that's all they were talking about. And God, we have said worse in this channel in terms of some of the sexual humor. Like, flip's sake, you see some of our reviews, and especially when Cameron and I are on, we go for it. What Dale and Travis were talking about is absolutely tame, just mental. I don't get it. I don't get people who come into horror and want to change it to suit themselves when it's such a wide-ranging genre. There's light-hearted horror, there's comedy horror, there's horror aimed at young adults, there's tame stuff out there that if you're particularly sensitive, you don't have to go into like the hardcore stuff. It's like anything. There's different levels of intensity and you like different things. franchises. You put 10 horror fans, you know what I mean, genuine, not the generic old person who just looks the same and dresses in spooky black and has all the same tattoos and piercings and they all have the same coloured hair. You know, they are not, they're tourists. They just turn up and they just go with the bandwagons. That's all they're interested in. But you put 10 horror fans in a room, and I hope I've demonstrated on this channel, you get 10 different people. Like, you have 10 people who have different outlooks, experiences, careers, aspirations, you know, and different genres they appreciate. Even on this channel, look what we're covering so far. Supernatural horror, Revenants, we've got sci-fi horror, we've got mad scientists, we've got aliens, we've got vampires, you know, and that's just in this last week. And I've completely different guests from different parts of the world who have their own opinions and things and different outlooks in life. And that's just this channel. Multiply that by 10 or 20 and that's the horror genre. And there's just these idiots who they come in, and we've seen it before with other franchises. They come in, they join up, they say they're being nice and this and that and the other, and what they're basically doing is just trying to take over and control and be the top dog. And then when it doesn't work, they'll move on to something else and you never see them again. And then all this animosity builds up and people are feeling bad and wretched and just don't want to like be involved in the genre anymore, and that's not good. So yeah, Dell has copped a lot of flack when she's the most generous, kind-hearted person I know, and she's not a bad bone in her body. Like, honestly, she puts herself out for people all the time. Flip sake, she's done it in this channel, like, at the start. Many stories have a featured from her, and she's sharing posts and championing this channel and everything else. Couldn't thank her enough. So do us a favor, go on over to her YouTube channel, give her a subscribe, go to Horror Central, join her Facebook group, help make it bigger than ever. And when her biography comes out, flip and buy it and just put it to the top 10, just to rub the nose of the slimy little shitweasels who want to do nothing but cause trouble and not actually enjoy the genre, because that's not what they're there for. So yeah, that's my rant over. I don't like it when somebody picks on one of my friends. It really gets on my nerves. You probably knows that. You pick on one of my friends and I'm coming at you. Anyone that knows me any length of time knows that. Say whatever you want about me, just go, yeah, whatever. But yeah, when you attack my friends, I take it personally. But there you go, that's that. Plenty going on and we're always moving forward. And it just leaves me to say, until next time, go update the channel, do techie things, and remember to keep it creepy, keep it horrific.